Audible offers an incredible selection of audiobooks across every genre.
As an Audible member, you can choose one title a month to keep from their entire catalog. The time is now, more than ever, to embrace the breathtaking, sinister, and shocking tales that have enthralled you, especially with brand new exclusive thrillers from best-selling authors who are guaranteed to keep you gripped.
Right now, one thing that I'm very interested in taking a listen to is The Daughters of Block Island, which is currently #1 on the mystery thriller and suspense list. So that is definitely going into my queue. New members can try Audible free for 30 days.
Visit audible.com/crappens or text crappens to 500-500. That's audible.com/crappens or text crappens to 500-500.
Shout out to Claritin for supporting this episode and providing us with samples.
My family is an allergy family, and one thing I can always count on is that somebody has the Claritin.
Luckily, for those of us who live with symptoms of allergies, we can live Claritin Clear with Claritin D.
Designed for serious allergy sufferers, Claritin D has 2 powerful ingredients in just 1 pill that relieve your allergy symptoms and decongest your nose so you can breathe better.
This double action combination of prescription strength allergy medicine and the best decongestant available relieves sneezing, a runny nose, itching, and watery eyes, an itchy nose and throat, and sinus congestion and pressure with ease.
I've got 2 nieces with extreme allergies, and the only thing that helps them is Claritin. We've always got it.
Oh yeah, my boyfriend, let me tell you something. When the allergies start up in Los Angeles, it's like, this is like, reach for that Claritin. Ready to live life as if you don't have allergies? It's time to live Claritin Clear.
Fast and powerful relief is just a quick trip away. Find Claritin D at the pharmacy counter.
Ask for Claritin at your local pharmacy counter. You don't even need a prescription.
Go to Claritin.com right now for a discount so you can live Claritin Clear. Use as directed. Planning a party, honoring a recent grad, maybe it's a birthday or an anniversary, whatever you're celebrating, Whole Foods Market has what you need to make the party pop.
I mean, if there's anyone, you used to live across from a Whole Foods, Ronnie, and
God.
I remember you were always talking about, you would just grab like this to-go salad, right?
Whole Foods was my kitchen and still is. I'm right by one now. I love Whole Foods. Let me just say their mac and cheese is some of the best in the world. I love their mac and cheese. Any Whole Foods location you go to, that mac and cheese is Stella.
But it's not just even the pre-made stuff. It's also just the quality of their proteins. Like if I have to get a nice piece of steak or a nice piece of fish, the first place I'm going to go to is Whole Foods.
Do you need a cooking break? Try delectable Whole Foods Market Catering. Their extensive menu has festive options for any occasion. Order at shop.wfm.com. Start every celebration at Whole Foods Market.
Hi everyone, welcome back. This is part 2 of a 2-part recap. If you're wondering where part 1 was, well, go check in the feed and be sure to subscribe so that way you always get your episodes. But enough of that, let's get right back into the episode. So now Jackie enters alone, no Evan, and she's like, oh wow, what a party. No one hears her.
Just alone. Margaret's like, hello, how are you? How are you, Jackie? How are you?
Hi.
It just took me so long to get here. I know, it's crazy. You know what we should talk about? We're such good friends. Do you want to talk about the weather? Let's talk about traffic. It's so much traffic. So much traffic out there. It's insane. Am I done with this scene with Jackie? Okay. Jackie's gone. Jackie's a temp. Am I done with this temp?
I just don't know how many conversations I can have about stopping at the Roy Rogers on the Jersey Turnpike. Okay, it's done. So then Frank Catania shows up and he walks up to Joey B. He's like, hey, what's up, my brother? What are we drinking? And he's like, I'm not drinking right now. Oh, you're gonna though, right? You're gonna. He's like, yeah, I drank a lot last night. Joe, no drinking for you. I'm not drinking tonight, Frank.
Yeah. So then we get a little scene with the 2 noobs and Melissa and Antonia, because Antonia's going to be going to school. So they're like, "He's so nervous," and she's like, "Please stop hugging me, Mom. I hate emotions," which I feel to my core. So then Dolores and Polly come. Dolores is like, "Oh, hello. Is everyone having fun?"
Wait, let me take that from the top. Hello. Sorry, gotta do it. Gotta do it.
Hello.
Hello. There, gotta do it. You're a good
It's
woman.
me, Dolores. Hello.
Yeah, she's a good woman. Redoing her hellos. She's really helping out. Look at all these big kids growing up so fast.
Everyone's a giant child. Look at the Gorgas. Oh my God, what are they? 70 years old now? They're still slightly taller than Joe. How does that happen? Come here. So they're all hugging and stuff, and then Dolores, Polly, and Danielle and Nate are talking, and they're talking about how beautiful the party was, and then Jen Fessler comes over and is like, she orders a drink or whatever, and let's see here.
And Jackie's like, it would be nice if
here we
Danielle
go.
even said hello to me. I don't understand the hatred. I really don't. I'm like, Jackie, you were going after Danielle all of last season. And then now you're like, well, I don't understand why she doesn't like me. I was just pointing out that she dressed like trash. That's all. It's not, but I liked her. She's like a nice person.
Okay, so now the guys are talking, and Frank's like, hey, what's happening over here? And Joe's like, well, obviously these two had beef the other night, Paulie and John. And so then we see a flashback to the beef, okay? Which was basically Fuda being like, hold on. I'm probably going, can I talk now? Or would you like to iron like a woman? So then we cut back, and Joe Gorga's like, I don't like people fighting, all right? Everyone who's mad, let's get your dicks out and put it into this blow-up doll. Let's do it right now. All right.
Joe Gorga, I don't like people fighting Gorga as we go on to year 35 of him not talking to his sister. So
exactly. Hey, Joe Gorga, you want to do another scene talking about how your only family is would be fun. It's been a week.
I know. So Polly's like, if somebody's beef with somebody is their beef with somebody else. And if you got a beef with somebody and you don't have a beef with someone else, then you got to go to be like a Wendy's commercial and say, where's the beef? Because it's not mine. Okay, so it should belong to no one else but us. Is that what you understand what I'm saying? Couldn't really follow that, but I'm just going to move on at this point. Thank you very much, John Fuda. So basically, it seems like they kind of like bury the hatchet over whatever their little tiff was at the party. It seems like everything's fine.
Fuda's like, I'm just getting so attacked on multiple levels. Everywhere I turn, attack. John Fuda, you're not a housewife. Doing too much, sir. Okay, take a break. So then Rachel and Margaret are talking, and they're just so distracted by who is talking to do at this part, around like, oh my God, did you see her talking to her? Oh my God, did you see her talking to her? Did you see the boys talking to the boys? Did you see a girl talking to the boy? Like this, obsessed. So Margaret's good. Minus, like we just had a crazy morning. Did you hear that Joe called Bill to invite him here? And Bill's like, no, we're declining the offer, because the girls need to talk. And I was like, oh my God, this is not good. This is not good.
Listen, I gotta be honest. I wouldn't have come here either. I mean, look at this place. It's a dump. It's like, really? You wouldn't have come here? Okay, wait, what if I told you, did you hear this? Jennifer, she served feta cheese this morning, part of a Turkish breakfast, whatever that is, in quotes. Am I right? Isn't it the wildest thing you ever had, feta for breakfast? Yeah, I don't really have an opinion about that. But like Teresa, that's like, you know what that's like? That's like Teresa calling me and saying, do you guys wanna I don't know. I don't really have another part of the metaphor. I just wanted to say it's like Teresa calling me, so that way we could start talking about Teresa. You want to talk about Teresa, Margaret? Oh, sure. It's fine. Don't even bother. You don't even have to do a segue. We just can talk about her, okay?
She's basically like, I get it. It's not a safe environment for her, And Margaret's like, I know. You know what? Who I want to talk to? Speaking of not safe, Jen Fessler. Because you know what? Speaking of safe, walk to her a little bit. You know what? Are you annoyed with her? And she's like, oh yeah. Because you know what? She's my friend. And it's not a fight to fight. Okay. I've got to talk to her. I've got to talk to Jen Fessler. She was nice to Teresa at a party.
I don't.
7 years old. My God.
I know. Meanwhile, Rachel, I don't let people in. And I really let Jen in. And I consider her to be family. Oh, you don't let people in. Okay. Meanwhile, we hear every single thing. It's like, today I went to the supermarket. They were out of pudding. I cried for 5 minutes in the parking lot. It was terrible.
So she's like, when I have a friend and they're allowing someone to be in their lives that is trying to hurt my husband, that's hurting me. And I don't think she realizes that. You're on a show. Your husband just made an IMDb because of the television show you're on. You're going to have to get over this. Okay? Stop your fucking whining. So Margaret's like, listen, but I was annoyed that we're giggling in a corner, acting like everything's fine. So let me just have a drink. We'll sit and talk. Surely everything's going to go great.
Yeah. So then we cut over to Teresa and Louis. They're going to lunch at a place called Phoenician, where they're going to meet. They meet up with, there's a woman named Jacqueline, who is not Jacqueline Larita, but it's Teresa's friend from way back when. And Teresa's like, oh my God, I know her 30 years. Yeah. And so this is Jacqueline's restaurant. And Teresa gives the backstory on Jacqueline, just in case we want her as a friend of. Yeah, I know Jackie since I'm 21. She started working at the Lancome counter in Macy's, and I was like working at buying office in Macy's, and I just started talking to her because I thought she was like really pretty, and she worked at Lancome, which I was like, oh my God, someone finally made a comb to comb land. And I was like, finally a land comb. She's like, no, it's a brand. I was like, oh my God, you're pretty. And we became friends right after that.
So she's the reason that Teresa met Dina. So Jacqueline may not bring a whole lot except some free dinners, but she brought us the show because without Jacqueline, this would have happened. Now, is this rails? No. And I think that's the only ding on Jacqueline right now is like, congratulations on everything you've accomplished, Jacqueline. I'm sorry that you didn't make rails.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Then you would have been a real star. So it's a dinner for Gabriella.
This is just, we don't have to recap this, right? This is just like the kids like, oh my God, we're so sad Gabriella's leaving. Like, yeah, I'm sick. Hi, Gabriella's leaving. And Jacqueline's like, you want some free breadsticks? Jacqueline's.
I'll serve you some of my favorites. So we go back to Joe's party. And Melissa is like, okay, everyone, who's next for an ass shot? And so the guys are like pouring shots into Josefina's asshole and then like doing them. And they're all like, they're goofing around and stuff. And I was really amused that the producers gave Josefina a chyron. It said Josefina, and then under it said Blowup doll. So I was like, okay, she got a chyron.
I mean, Josefina is kind of killing it more than the noobs, I have to say, than the friends of so far. So far, I'm into Josefina the most. So then we see Jennifer's scene. She's like, I'm not going to go to a party to film with these idiots. I can do everything on my own. I'm taking Olivia to play. And so they go to a carnival and play some whack-a-mole. And, Olivia hurts her finger. It's a great scene. So then we go back to Joe's party. Polly's like, are you guys having a nice time? And Dolores is like, so nice. Hello.
So Frank is like, hi, Dolores. So I want to talk to Dolores right now, okay? Because like obviously you both are an integral part of my life as well, and like something big's coming, and when something big coming, I always talk to Dolores, okay? And I got a serious thing coming up, and the kids are like, you gotta talk to Dolores. So I'm like, okay, all right. So I want you to know, I'm going away, all right? I'm going away to Costa Rica. I'm like, oh shit, what happened? Who did he snitch on? Then he goes, MS, Brittany engaged. I was like, oh. Like, I feel like on this show, if you say you're going away, it means you snitch on someone or you got snitched on, right?
Or you didn't pay your pebble tiles bill or something. He's like, I gotta protect my knees. We saw what happened last time. Costa Rica it is.
Right. But it turns out he looks like he's
I'm going to be in Costa Rica and I'm going to get engaged to Brittany. Okay. And she's like, oh God, is that all? You scared me, Frank. Jeez. All right. Just don't be gone too long. I still don't have a railing. I still have a stair railing.
That's Frank. That's beautiful. I thought you were going to.
For you, glad you get married. Literally can't believe she's marrying you, but good for her. I mean, listen, I've never been prouder of 2 overcooked sticks of bacon. Okay. Congratulations to the both of you.
Frank, I'm just glad you didn't announce that you were adopting a chinchilla that was going to pee all over you again. So honestly, anything makes me happy.
Yeah, and everybody knew that they were meant to be. But of course, Frank's going to take forever to ask because he's Frank. What are you going to do? But I saw them at BravoCon and I was like, yeah, those two are meant to be together because they stood at the stairway in the restaurant. Well, I was at the Four Seasons one day, and they were standing because that's where they all stayed, and so they were standing in front of the stairway, and she's like, "Take a picture." He's like, "All right, I'm gonna get your picture." She's like, "All right, now let me look at the picture." So he'd bring her the camera and show. Give me another. Do it again. Do it again. And she'd like flick her hair and move it around, and he'd be like, "All right, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. All right, I'm gonna get 3." And then she'd come over and he'd show her the 3, and she's like, "Do it again." And this went on. I mean, it was like a mating call documentary. It just went on, and I was like, "That's your man right there." That's when you know you found the right man. When he's like, "We're gonna do this until we find your correct angle."
Yeah. So then Frank turns to Dolores and goes, I mean, who'd have thought I'd get engaged before you, huh? Yeah. And Paul is like, har. So
Well, I've got to get divorced first, don't I? Ha ha ha! Isn't a fun joke? It's a hilarious joke. And Dolores goes, "One's got nothing to do with the other. All right, we can be excited for you and also be excited for our future, right, Paulie? Right? Paulie has a future, hopefully, of making a bed. Am I right? Grown boobs, I'm becoming a woman."
Listen, one thing has nothing to do with another. It's like the kitchen and the living room. And back to the kitchen again. They don't have anything to do with each other. That's why you got to walk back and forth between them. That's all. That's all.
Okay, so now the boys are talking, and Frank and Joe are talking about how close. Stacy, you're Hutch. I'm like your Sonny Crockett. Your Ricardo Tubbs. I'm like the Sonny. You're the Bono.
Hey, there you are. You are. Listen, I'll admit it. I look for you. It's like without you, I'm like, where's my boy? Where's my buddy? Well, Joe Gorga, I got some very serious news to tell you. I got to go away for a little bit. It's going to be tough. You're not going to see a lot of me.
Not the Pebble Tiles. You pay for the Pebble Tiles, huh?
No, what are you talking about? I'm just going to Costa Rica for the weekends. Why are you getting so upset?
All right, brother. I'm worried about your knees, all right? You're on them enough.
Listen.
Get it?
I said some things I shouldn't have said to some people I shouldn't have told to, and now I'm in a whole bunch of trouble. Hey, you need some place to hide? No, I told Brittany I want to get married to, and I shouldn't have said it so soon. That's all.
Okay, so then Marge is hanging out with Rachel, and you see her Marge go, do I have a wrinkle above my... Oh, I think this was Dolores who said this. I might have written it wrong.
No, it was Margaret.
It was Dolores.
It was Margaret who said
it. It was Margaret?
Yeah.
Do I have a wrinkle above my boob?
I think I'm getting a little wrinkle there. Got a little upper boob wrinkle. Okay. It's from stressing out about Joe.
Okay, so Jennifer Fessler comes up. She's like, "Hello, my loves."
Oh, hi, babe. What's going on, babe? What are you doing? She's like, "Oh, wow." And Rachel's like, "Oh, you're looking quite fabulous. You look very Hamptons, actually," which is funny. Like, since when does Rachel Fuda an expert on Hamptons looks? But she's like, "Oh, yes, I feel very Hamptons right now. Very, like, imagine Hamptons, but with 95% larger teeth."
So basically, they sit down, and Marge just goes right in. She's like, "Oh, well, that was really fun when I saw you with Teresa just giggling. Ha, 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 Teresa. Oh, my God. Look at Teresa. Love Teresa. Oh, my God. Vote for Teresa. Vote for Teresa." You were asking for donations? Like, what are you doing? Let's have a GoFundMe for the I Love Teresa. How much you love Teresa? Well, you just get married. TERESAGISSIN. I don't even remember the kid's term. Get married in a tree. Okay, because you love tree so much. How much do you love Teresa? How much do you love her? What is it, Valentine's Day for you and Teresa? Okay. Marge coming in hot. Subtlety, Marge.
I know, Margaret really is. She's blowing her load way too early. So Jen Fessler's like, I mean, what? Like, what's the alternative? What you want? She sits down and goes, "Honey," and I'm supposed to say, "Fuck you." I'm like, that hasn't stopped other people in the past, by the way. This is Real Housewives of New Jersey.
Yeah, that's how Jennifer does it.
Yeah.
She's like, "Let's go braid each other's hair." She's just upset because she heard I said something about we had a plan and you screwed it up. All right. Now, you guys did create a plan to take down Louis. And Marge goes, "Oh, please. Louis planned his own demise."
Oh, right. Well, that's what I said to her. It's like, "By the way, you are no explanation." It's like, yeah, that's right. What Rachel said, I would have just been like, "Fuck off." I would have been like, "Fuck off." And if you want to buy something from the Macbeth collection, that is still something I'm doing. So you can buy something. And Margaret says that she's like, "No, Jennifer just has to stop with the bullshit and just say, I'm a wuss. I'm good. I'm not good when I'm confronted. I have diarrhea of the mouth and I fucked up." And then I'd say, "Fine, that's who you are." But isn't this like didn't Margaret actually play this exact role when she first came on the show? Wasn't this her issue, her fallout with Siggy Flicker, right? Wasn't that Siggy Flicker had a real issue with did Siggy have an issue with Teresa or was it Danielle? Siggy had an issue with someone and Margaret played both sides. Like, why can't I be nice to both people? Like, there's nothing wrong with being friends with both people.
Well, now Margaret has the whole, but she came from my children, and when you come from my children, that's the right. Housewives thing. If you come for the children, then you can't say anything. That's why Rachel keeps saying over and over, they came from my family. They came from my children, which are not necessarily wrong, but I don't know. They're kind of all adults now. Most of these children, not Fuda's children, but she didn't come from Fuda's children. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't know. The show's all like, you came from my children, how dare you? So that's where she's got it. And also, I think she feels like I brought Jennifer Fessler on the show, and now Fessler's immediately jumping to the Teresa camp, which I don't know that she's necessarily. But like I said, subtlety. It's just being played wrong. Is what I think. So then Marge is like, well, why do you care that she thought you spoke poorly about Louis? You do. You speak poorly about Louis. And she's like, poorly about Louis at all, ever. I do not. And she goes, yes, you do. Incessantly, you do. And she goes, oh, no, we're not going to go there. You're not going to say that I speak poorly about Louis. And she goes, okay, does she speak poorly about Louis, Rachel? And she goes, we don't speak about Louis. But I will say, she goes, well, whenever you've spoken about Louis or I've spoken about Louis, does Jen Fessler say a kind word about Louis? Okay, well, does she speak about Louis or not? It's just about her. What did she say? Because if she didn't, you can't just say her not saying anything nice about Louis is the same as speaking incessantly terribly about Louis. I mean, come on now.
So Jackie, who is already like putting the plan in motion to go defect to Teresa's side, as evidenced by the fact that she now wants to be friends with Danielle. We should know it. She's like, well, why does it matter how much everyone thinks about Louis? Like, why are you getting so worked up? Why are you getting so worked up about Teresa and Louis? Like, where did this come from Jackie? Jackie, who's always hated Teresa and who has been fully on Team Margaret with this entire situation. Now it's like, well, wait, so what does it matter? What does it matter if she cares about if she's friends with Louis? Who cares?
So Marge is like, don't you come in here and sugarcoat shit, okay? I will not tolerate that. She goes, no one's sugarcoating anything, Margaret, okay? No one's denying that they said anything about it, Margaret, okay? And she's like, do not speak for Jen Fessler. Bullshit. It's not going to fly with me today. Jen Fessler, say something horrible and incessantly terrible about Louis. No, you're not going to say anything nice about horrible things she just said about Louis. Horrible.
You know what? Okay, you know what, Rachel, she's really pissed me off just now. Jackie's really pissed me off. She goes, I know. That was inappropriate. And Jen Fessler's like, okay, well, you know what? This is escalating too fast. Margaret. And Rachel's like, take a deep breath. I was like, no, I'm not going to sit here. I'm not going to sit here with Jen Fessler lying and Jackie saying those things ridiculously, sugarcoating things. Jen Fessler's like, no, I'm saying to you, excuse me. No, let me get a word out. Would you just let me get you overtalk everybody? It's like, oh, I overtalk everybody? You're saying that to me when you're Margaret Josephs? No, you talk over everyone. No, I talk over everyone. It turns into one of those fights.
Yes. It's like, you are. So Jen's like, and then you come at me with, you talk about him incessantly. I do not talk about him incessantly. She goes, no, I didn't say that. I said, you never have a kind word to say about him. And she's like, so you thought I was going to sit down with Teresa and say, you know what? I just want to let you know, by the way, so nice that we're sharing. And your husband is disgusting. Is that what you wanted me to do? And she's like, well, I'm not saying that. She goes, and you realize I'm not going to do that. I'm not your soldier, Margaret. And then it's like, dun, dun, dun.
It's time for a commercial. It's time for a Crappens commercial.
Sound the gifting panic alarm. We've all been there. You need to find the perfect gift. You have absolutely zero ideas and you don't know where to start. Relax. Now you can use gift mode on Etsy. Gift mode takes the stress out of gifting, so you can find the perfect item for anyone and any occasion. Just answer a few short questions about who you're shopping for and what they like, and gift mode gives you curated gift ideas based on hundreds of personas. Imagine pages of artisan espresso mugs for the coffee connoisseur in your life. Or for the pickleballer, customize paddle covers in every shade imaginable. Etsy's got you covered. Need to find the perfect gift? Don't panic. Try gift mode on Etsy now.
The comfort of your favorite seat is now your comfy car selling command center, thanks to Carvana.
It doesn't get any better than this.
Your favorite seat's the best spot in the house. Make it even better by entering your license plate or VIN and getting a real offer in minutes.
There really is no place like home.
And speaking of home, Carvana will pick up your car from yours after you finalize your offer. Visit Carvana.com or download the app and sell your car from your comfy place.
Worried about letting someone else pick out the perfect avocado for your perfect impress them on the third date guacamole? Well, good thing Instacart shoppers are as picky as you are. They find ripe avocados like it's their guac on the line. They are milk expiration date detectives. They bag eggs like the 12 precious pieces of cargo they are. So let Instacart shoppers overthink your groceries so that you can overthink what you'll wear on that third date. Download the Instacart app today to get free delivery on your first 3 orders, while supplies last. Minimum $10 per order. Additional terms apply.
So Rachel's like, I think that what Margaret's trying to say is that there's a lot of time spent in the conversation that Jen was having with Teresa, and she saw them laughing. So immediately being as close as we are, right? Like immediately you're like, what the fuck is she doing? You know? And Jen Fessler's like, okay, you know what? You're both coming at me really hard right now. Okay, so settle down, James Gandolfini. I'm not gonna handle the things the way you handle things. Okay, I will handle my shit my way. Okay, I got you, but I'm not gonna be you, and I'm not gonna do that. And you want me to do that and say you want me to say, and you want me to do and doing things and say what I was gonna say, but I'm gonna do it the Fessler way because I've always done it the Fessler way.
So Rachel starts her whole like, I am not going to tell you who to be friends with. Oh my God, am I crying? Because who to be friends with? But if you're going to be friends with her, like I can't because she's like come from my family. She's come from my family. How could you be friends? You're trying a power move that you have not earned. Period. And Jen Fessler's new. She's still a friend of on this show. Why is she going to choose your side, tile lady? No.
Yeah, and Margaret's basically like, it's just like, it's weird because you knew us first, okay? You knew us first. You fucking knew us first, okay? I'm like, yeah, but that's also you knew Sicky Flicker first. I mean, not to defend Sicky Flicker, and I love Margaret, but like, you, come on, you know how this works. You know how this works in these shows.
This is Jersey, so we know the rules, right? We drove together. As Dolores would say.
Yes.
We drove together and I'm leaving with her. And I think that's what Marge is saying. She's like, what the fuck? I bring you onto this show. You act like you hate Teresa right along with everybody else. And then the second the cameras start rolling, you go in there and start licking Teresa's asshole all over the place.
I mean, it is frustrating.
Which is true.
That is very frustrating.
That is true. What's happening is true.
I know. You know,
the thing that's killing me is watching Marge handle it this way because I just know it's just terrible handling of it. It's the way to get the audience to immediately turn on you when you have legitimate gripes against Teresa, but you can't come in here acting like, oh my God, it's like because Louis called my child at work or whatever when you were doing the Louis thing that could have she was doing the Louis thing last year. That was going against Teresa's family. It's like it's my family. It's just she's handling it wrong, and it's killing me because I want to root.
Even as we recap it, I'm like, wait a second, I'm coming down on Margaret, but the truth is, it does suck. It does suck if like she spent like a year being like, God, fuck Teresa, right? And Jen Fessler's like, yeah, fuck her. And the cameras roll for season 2 of Jen Fessler, and she's like, kind of being like, I love Teresa now. Margaret's like, wait, what the hell? But like again, it's like. There's something about Teresa that if you come hard for her, like the people who come hard for her, you're always like, why are you coming hard for Teresa? You know, even though, like you said, Margaret has legitimate gripes in this situation. So anyway, Rachel goes inside. She's crying.
Well, I just want to see it played better as a housewife. I just want the housewifery to be better. Yeah. I want it to be like, okay, so I see Jen Fessler immediately kind of betraying me to go be friends with Teresa. So she needs to look at it like, oh, now I've got a spy in Teresa's camp and I can start manipulating Jen Fessler. I can start manipulating Teresa from my camp through Jen Fessler. But instead, she's like, you can't be friends with her. This is bullshit. And they're trying to divide up instead of like giving me some good, mysterious, twisty, turny political espionage.
Yeah. So Margaret goes into the house looking for Rachel, and she finds Rachel, and Danielle walks in on them and everything. And Danielle's just asking, what happened. And Margaret says, we're having a thing with Jen Fessler. And Rachel is like, like her relationship with Teresa, it's hard to look at your best friend in the eye and be like, I'm okay with that because like it hurts me, And then Jen Fessler is outside, talking to Jackie, being like, this whole baby thing. It's like just happened. You don't like this, you don't love me. She's basically getting frustrated, and Jackie's like, it's not you, it's they're very upset. It's like, it's baby bullshit. That's what this is. It's baby bullshit. That's all it is. So Jen Fessler gets herself annoyed, and she's like, you know what, I'm sick of this. I'm gonna go home. I'm leaving this party. Don't want to deal with this immature, it's my way, my friendship or Teresa's friendship thing.
So now Danielle is talking to Marge and Rachel's still doing her whole I cannot believe that my best friend is treating me like this. I mean, Danielle, you're friends with Teresa, and look at how close we are. You hate Danielle. What are you talking about? You've been friends for 5 seconds.
Well, she's like,
but Rachel's doing this thing where she's acting like she's been on the show a decade, and she's like, I cannot believe my best friend of 30 years, Jen Fessler, is betraying me after someone came for my family. Danielle, look how close our friendship is, even though you're still friends with Teresa. You've been friends with Danielle for 2 seconds. Give me a fucking break. She's too much.
Well, she's like, it's one thing, I know that you're friends with Teresa, and that works for us because, because like I say you say something just as there, you don't say, and I'll vent to you, and you just say like, oh, cool, then here's a different perspective, and that's all it is,
yeah,
cool. But
cool.
Jen Fessler, she's like about my best friend, and you're just like, I don't know, you're like one of these focaccia letters that's here on the side of on the sofa. It's like you're nice to look at. Might want to take a bite out of you, but I'm not gonna take you home or anything like that. But Jen Fessler, that's a good friend. You're fine. But Jen Fessler, she's the best. She keeps on comparing the two friendships and really underlining how much she's not actually a friend to Danielle.
I like that Danielle is still so easily swayed by everything going on around her. She's like, yeah, I would do that, because and you're right, because if that was my best friend, and she's my best friend, you're a friend. Yeah, so if that was my best friend and she was doing that shit to me, you'd be mad, right? I'd be so mad. You'd be furious, right? I'd be so furious. You'd kill her, right? I'd kill her. I'll kill her right now. Where's my dad? I'll kill him too. I'm going to crash them into each other, so I'm going to kill him. I'm going to kill both of those motherfuckers. She's ready to go at anybody they point her at. So Marge is still like, I just can't, I do not want to hear excuses for anybody being nice to Teresa. So they're making their last stand in episode 3. That's it. It's whoever sides there is going to side there, and whoever is going to side here is going to side here.
And Margaret's
going to lose this one.
And Margaret's like, I just get so frustrated. And Jack is like, da, 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 and just gets in the middle of it. I'm like, why are you getting in the middle of it? That's for me to get in the middle of it. Why are you getting in the middle of it? So now now Margaret, more seeds are being planted that Margaret and Jackie are falling apart, etc. And basically, Jen Fessler leaves the party, and Jackie feels bad for her, and we're seeing. It basically ends with Joe Gorga now getting sentimental because Antonia is going to be going off to college soon, which means that the next episode is going to be Antonia's goodbye and long dinners for Antonia and all that stuff. And they do a family photo, and it's like, I guess nice.
Yeah, and that's pretty much it. The rest of it's just little party stuff. Joe gives a speech, and they show off the cake that's Italian themed, but not the party, because they don't want everything to be Italian themed. And then it just says the end, but it's spelled out in bread. Okay, yeah. So Real Housewives of New Jersey. All right. Been making terrible moves over there, castmates of that. No one needs this. Separate fight. I need you in the same room. I need you fighting. Period. Okay, make it happen. All right, let's move on to Summer House Martha's Vineyard, the season 2 finale.
Yes. Season 2 finale. So the big thing that happened in this finale is that Summer, you may not have heard this, but her Nana's having surgery. I don't know if this was news to anyone. Her Nana's having surgery. Yeah, it's happening. So her Nana's having surgery, and she just has a lot on her mind. And she realized after one day of sobriety that she shouldn't be in this house. She needs to go figure something out. And also her Nana's having surgery. So Summer decides that she's going to leave 2 days early, 2 days before the end of shooting, just because those 48 hours are going to be the 48 hours that are going to turn things around for her.
Yeah, and she goes around to everybody and she's like, I'm having some issues in my own life and I need to go. Literally everybody she talks to is like,
It's like,
okay.
This is
Bye now.
This is the
She's
girl.
like, okay, well, I will go say bye to this person now. So then she goes to the next group and they're like, bye. Don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you. Okay.
And this is the same girl who, like, last week or 2 weeks ago complained that being friends with Jordan and Preston is like really hard because they just are always, it's always something serious with them. It's like always so serious. Meanwhile, every single episode of Summer is like, I'm just like going through a lot right now. I'm just like really internalizing emotions. And like, I just feel like I'm just like not where I need to be. And like, I'm just like going through shit right now.
Yeah. So she leaves and Noelle doesn't even get out of bed to say bye to her. She's like, bye.
Yeah,
Bye
but
now.
also Summer doesn't go in to say goodbye to Noelle, I'd like to add.
Yeah. So that's over between those guys. I guess I just put it on Noelle because someone texted her and they were like, she's leaving. You're going to say bye? Jasmine did. And she's like, no, no, I'm not. So that was it, I guess, between them. And then Nick was coming in about everybody starting stuff with Tasia about him being flirty. So he brings that up again. And then, Bria gets all upset with him, of course. And the second this guy starts standing up for himself, he's like, what the hell? I mean, if you've got something to say, just say it. She's like, he is being disrespectful and I will not speak to him raising his voice to me. Yeah. And so she stomps off.
Yes, she stomps off. But you know what, though? She was totally right in this case. Like, it's rare that Bria's storm-offs are actually fully justified. But in this case, I think it was. Because Nick is the one who was acting pervy earlier in the season and is the one with, like, the wandering eye. And this was a situation where, like, basically Amir's messy-ass girlfriend brought girl talk to Nick and made it sound like they were all claiming that he had groped them or something. And so then he's, like, yelling at them. And she's like, like, you need to, like, shut the fuck up because you have to listen to our side of this. So totally justified with her storm off.
But she's also not telling her side. She's pretending she didn't say anything. And she's like, I didn't say anything. I didn't say one single thing. I don't even know what that girl was talking about. And then they cut to her being like, a memory of her being like, oh, well, yeah, if he had the chance, he'd totally get with us. Like he'd fuck around on her in 1 second if he actually had the chance. And then they cut back to her. She's like, I don't even know what you're talking about. Yeah. So they're kind of gaslighting him. But I do agree with the whole creepy. And that's it. Like, if you're going to be kind of flirty with people, then I don't know. They're kind of allowed to say it. But I also think Monica's the messy one here. And she's, of course, Natalie, getting away with it because they make them leave, you know?
And then...
wait, was Monica still here at this part? Or did they leave
already? Natalie, but I think she's gone at this point.
I keep calling her Monica.
Was never there. But R&B singer Monica. But then Nick does he has like a good conversation with the women. They like clear the air. Everything is fine. So that entire thing kind of just like settles down. Everyone understands where they're coming from. Nick realizes whatever. But then it becomes Amir who gets upset because then Amir starts feeling like he's getting dragged into it. Well, because it becomes clear that Natalie was the messy one, right? And so then Amir gets upset because he feels like Natalie's getting dragged into this and she wasn't doing anything wrong, even though she was like clearly doing the most in this situation.
Yes. So he gets up. So when does he bring it? So basically the couples weekend, it's time for them to leave. So they get, and then let's see what else happened here.
So Amir's getting upset, and then he starts coming for Bria, and he's basically saying like, "Why are you acting like?" He's confronting Bria about saying this stuff, and then Bria is getting annoyed at Amir because it's like this was all settled. She's like, I settled it with Nick. This has nothing to do with you. It's over. It's done. And Amir's like, why are you raising your voice at me? Which is always funny. Like, I mean, she was starting to get agitated and her tone was agitated, but then it's Amir who like yells and is accusing her of yelling. So he just has basically like a hissy fit and a meltdown.
Yeah, he has a fit at her. So then what else happens here?
Well,
They had a great part where they all imitated each other for their final party gang. I like that. Their
yes,
party game. They were actually really good at imitating each other.
they were really good. And was it Noelle who imitated Jordan without even saying a word? She just did like give like annoyed looks at people, and they're like, "Oh, Jordan, that's Jordan."
Who's doing Jordan?
And then
Perfectly.
And then don't forget that Alex had a party that was like where he brought his music collective to the beach, and they
Oh my
got there and he
God,
starts going
of course.
waves, waves, waves,
Waves. Oh, it's the worst
waves.
because he can't just tell you, okay, I'm going to have you know what I'm going to have? I'm gonna musical collective moment again, because that's his thing to sell. Like we had to do this last year, okay? But this year he's doing it again. So I guess to vary it up, he's like, more obnoxious. It's going to be listen to my music while you paint whatever my music's inspired you to create. It's like, oh my God, could you be any more fucking obnoxious? So he makes him do a paint and listen.
Yes.
And then his song is like waves, waves. So Shanice is like, well, he's saying waves, so I'm just making waves. And then the waves are like moving their way into a tiny little rectangle, which is the shot glass. Want to do shots? Shots? We should do shots.
Summer's like, I think we can all agree that Shanice's painting is the worst dress painting of the group, right?
Summer's on a plane. Your painting looks the poorest.
Waves, waves, waves. I was just singing a song with his music collective, his brother and his friend. So they have that thing, and then Summer leaves early, and then the other thing that happened is that Jasmine is feeling alone. And she's like doing a confessional about feeling alone. But then they all come into the confessional and they're like, no, we're here for you. We're friends with you. And they all gather around her. And it's nice, I guess. It's nice. They're there for Jasmine.
It's amazing how when you date a controlling asshole that's mean to everybody and completely, how your friends don't like him. Isn't that crazy?
Wait.
She's like, yeah, it's just... What?
Oh, sorry. Sorry, there was an internet breakup there, so I thought you were done speaking, which is why I went wait, but I realized that you were still talking.
What were you saying wait for?
We forgot the most important part of the entire episode.
Oh.
Which is...
Milo.
Milo went missing.
My baby. My hero of this show, Milo. Yeah, Milo, she was saying something like, yeah, Milo, just go over there. Milo wanted food or something, and she didn't give it to him, and then Milo ran away. Milo ran far, far away. And I like even on the reviews, they were like, and then on the summer finale, something terrible happens to one of our favorites. And we just see Milo. Everybody's screaming, Milo, where are you? They're sending out the search parties for Milo.
Like
nobody can find
footage.
Milo. We hear screaming and yelling and crying about Milo.
Everyone is looking for Milo. Like we see footage of Milo actually pushing open the door, like the gate by the pool, and like running off into nowhere. Milo is basically like Lindsay on that one episode of Summer House when she went walking down the road. And so everyone stops. Everyone's looking for Milo. They're all going into the wilderness. I'm like, enjoy all your Lyme disease you're about to get. I hope these people are doing TikTok searches. I don't know, like the Northeasterner in me is like, don't go near the tall grass with shorts on. But then like after like, was it 25, 30 minutes out of nowhere, Milo comes running back and they're all so happy. I was just like, do you realize what this dog just put you through? This is the worst dog on Bravo.
This is the best dog. I love him. They even gave him his own little testimonial because I don't think he really went anywhere, did he? He was just hanging out.
He went into the woods.
Milo, guys. Trust in Milo.
Listen, actually, he was doing the right thing. He was trying to get the hell away from Bria.
Yeah.
Natalie's like, did you hear
they
about
gave
Milo?
him his own little testimonial, which was really cute. I love Milo. I think Milo does a great job. And we also found out that Simon is not Bria's soulmate, which I thought was interesting.
Right.
They were talking about soulmates, and she's like, yeah, he's not my soulmate. And his soulmate is, he's in Tribeca. Okay.
An up and coming neighborhood.
One day it'll get there.
One day.
Becca.
So,
and then she kept saying, no, he's not my soulmate. That's a whole other thing. Like, am I going to spend my life with him? Sure. Do I love him? Sure. Like poor Simon.
He's not the soulmate, but he's rich. Yeah, so that's pretty much how it ended. It sort of had some more sort of like minor, moments. Like there was, again, Amir and Bria getting into a fight. But other than that, it kind of just sort of like wrapped up. Everything wrapped up nicely.
They did a whole thing where they were like, let's sit around after we just did a sip and see, and let's apologize to each other.
Yeah.
My part of whatever upset you this summer. And then it just gets to Jordan, and Jordan goes, yeah, I'm not going to apologize for anything. I'm just going to move forward from things. And so it just kind of ended there. I was like, okay, well, great to have this talk. We all kind of hate each other. Glad that we're all on a show about how close we are as friends. Let's, I guess, move on. So then it ends with Jasmine going into labor and giving birth. And then we see little baby Cooper. And then, of course, Silas shows up after the labor is done. I mean, you can't even show up during the part called labor, Shameful. Yeah. But he gets there, which is nice. So they have a cute little baby.
Yeah, I feel like the last shot, or one of the last shots, is just Silas basically holding the baby, and passing going to pass on terrible habits to him. So that was it. That was season 2 of Summer House. That was the big finale. I guess we'll see what happens with season 3. I'm sure they'll get a pickup for season 3, but you never know. I don't think it did too well in the ratings this time. So we'll see. But it was fun. And this episode was fun. So thanks everyone for being here. We surely appreciate you. And we'll be back tomorrow with some Below Deck. Bye everyone.
Bye.
Watch What Crappens would like to thank its premium sponsors. Ain't no thing like Allison King.
Ashley Savoni, she don't take no baloney.
Strolling the park with Caitlin Clark.
She's not just a Sheila, she's a Daniela. Itchels. Aaron McNicholas, she don't miss no trickolas. She's never scary, it's the Green Fairy. Jamie, she has no last namey.
Hava Nagila Weber. Know your worth with Jason Kurth.
Sip some scotch with Jessica Trotch.
She's always supplying, it's Kelly Ryan.
Kristen the Piston Anderson. Let's give a kisserino to Lisa Lino. We want to hang with Liz Lang. Megan Berg. You can't have a burger without the Berg.
The Bay Area Betches.
And our super premium sponsors.
Somebody get us 10 cc's of Betsy MD.
We're taking the gold with Brenda Silva.
Let's get real with Caitlin O'Neill.
Don't get salty with Christine Pepper. Can't have a meal without the Emily Sides. We forever love Ava.
Nobody holds a candle to Jamie Kendall. We got our wish, it's Jen Plish. She's not harsh, she's Jill Hirsch. She's a little bit loony. Junie. My favorite Murdo, Karen McMurdo. We love him madly, it's Kyle Pod Shadley.
Let's go on a bender with Lauren Fender. The incredible edible Matthews sisters.
Give him hell, Miss Noel. Ring that bell for Rachel. She's the queen bee, it's Sarah Lemke. Shannon, out of a cannon, Anthony. Let's take off with Tamla Plain.
She ain't no shrinking Violet Kuchar. We love you guys.
Hey Prime members, you can listen to Watch What Crappens ad-free on Amazon Music. Download the Amazon Music app today. Or you can listen ad-free with Wondery Plus in Apple Podcasts. Before you go, tell us about yourself by completing a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
I'm Elena, an autopsy technician.
And I'm Ash, a hairstylist.
And we just love swapping stories about all of the morbid things that fascinate us.
And if you do too, join us on our podcast, Morbid. It's a safe space to let your weirdo flag fly.
On Morbid, we cover dark historical events, sinister science, unnerving paranormal events, and sordid high society murders.
We also dive deep into the most notorious crimes in history.
Our podcast is grounded in rigorous and painstaking research. We're also not afraid to read a
Yeah. We keep it weird because a dash of snark is necessary to get through grotesque true tales of demented minds.
So follow Morbid on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen to Morbid early and ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus.
I'm Shimol Yai, and I have a new podcast called The Competition. Every year, 50 high school senior girls compete in a massive scholarship competition.
I wouldn't say I have an ego problem, but I'm extremely competitive.
All of the competitors are used to being the best and the brightest, and they're all vying for a huge cash prize.
This will probably be the most intense thing you've ever gone through in your life.
I remember that feeling because I was one of them. I lost. But now I'm coming back as a judge and also a kind of teen girl anthropologist. Because if you want to understand what it's like to be a young woman in America today, the competition's not a bad place to start.
Hopefully, no one will die on stage tonight.
From Pineapple Street Studios and Wondery, this is The Competition. Follow The Competition on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen to The Competition early and ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus.